So it finally happened. Some journalists went and tested all these products to see if they had PFAS, the toxic forever chemical, in them, and a ceramic nonstick pan, which advertises itself as being PFAS free, tested as having trace amounts of PFAS on them. This is something that I've suspected in the past because in order to make these ceramic nonstick pans, you have to do what's called using a sol gel process, right? The actual coating on this is an inorganic polymer, so it's basically a layer of plastic, and it has titanium dioxide and silicon dioxide nanoparticles, okay? And even though those are essential elements in ceramic, that's how they can get away with a ceramic nonstick coating, in no way, shape, or form is this natural. They're taking these nanoparticles that are made in a laboratory, and then they are mixing it with a polymer using a sol gel process, coating it on the outside of an aluminum pan, and then baking it at high heat, which gives it that nonstick coating. And ultimately, regardless of what the coating has, you are still eating microplastics of this that are not good for you, right? Any coating that can come off of a pan, you will eat, and it will impact your insides and cause inflammation and God knows what else, right? So I looked at the patent a few years ago for sol gel process, which is what they use to apply this coating, okay? We were using basically fluorinated silanes, right? That is a type of PFAS. They were using that, and I suspected that it could potentially have PFAS in it. Now remember, PFAS, a toxic forever chemical, that's a whole class of chemicals. There's over 10,000. And currently our legislation and the current awareness really only focuses on like 5 types of PFAS. But there's a lot more. They're all pretty much showing to have pretty much the same amount of toxic impacts because they're so impossible to break down. That means they bioaccumulate in our body and all sorts of other bad things, right? Lead to lots of different types of cancer. And regardless, even if they don't lead to cancer because of that way, they're still getting lodged in your body in the form of a microplastic, okay? Because the coating chips off. Now, this pan had trace amounts, okay? Just yet another reason to avoid nonstick pans. Ceramic nonstick pans, like, please just use stainless steel. Just use carbon steel, just use cast iron, use like a real enameled cast iron, like a Dutch oven. Like there's so many easy ways. It's so easy to cook with a pan that doesn't have a coating on it because it doesn't look like the PFAS were intentionally added. It looks like it was some sort of processing aid, which is exactly what shows in the sol gel patent on how to make ceramic nonstick pans, right? The fluorine was not an active ingredient. It was used as a processing aid. Regardless, you're still eating it. And the problem with PFAS is that they bioaccumulate, right? They build up with every little bit that you ingest. So even if it's a tiny trace amount, like that's still a source that you didn't need, right? So it's just good to like avoid all the sources. So yeah, FYI,